Right. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Let's do a little bit of adjusting. Oh, got a couple drop frames. Right. Titles. Yo, what up, Rain? What's shaking? Twitch glitch? No, I'm testing out something right now. I'm trying to dual stream right now, and I'm still trying to dial it in, so unfortunately it might still be a bit glitchy. But I also have a bunch of stuff going on in the background that I'm trying to cull at the moment. But how you doing there, Rain? I think I can get rid of that. Getting back to art before homicide happens? What homicide? Who homicide? Let's see how. Being sarcastic? Oh, okay, okay. Where is... Okay, this is this, so I gotta get rid of all this stuff here. What are you working on tonight? Get rid of that. Signature doesn't need to be on. These are all sketches. These can all go away. That's fine. And actually, that can go away. Start on oil painting? Nice. That's one area that I never got into. I tried to get into oil painting at one point. I did like half a painting and I was like, yeah, I'm out. Finish one up drawing and trying to finish another old project. Oh, okay, cool, man. Spectacular symmetry. There we go, that's what I want. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of sketches. my pencil. Actually, what I should be doing, I got ballsy and didn't let the prep dry because I was impatient, so now I have to chill before it gets too weird with it. Yeah, it's you can only Bob Ross that so much, you know, before it's just like, all right, I gotta step back from this. I think that's another reason why I didn't get into it, was the fact of how much, like, in between time you gotta wait. Let's go like this. Let's go down here, make a new layer. We'll fill this black, drop that down. T, and I'll shrink that to about yay, give or take. We'll go okay, and I'm just going to copy that a couple times. And you know what? So I'll grab all these, transform them all at once. Make them just a little bit smaller. Maybe about there. Grab all those. Go yes. Grab all those. Go like this. Bring them all over here. All right. One and nope, that one. All right, these two. Copy those guys, drop those down. Copy those guys, move them over. Nice. That'll work. Yeah, and I'm using the student grade paint. Yeah. Student grade's not that bad. It's just not meant for, you know, I think anything more than, what is it, like 50 years? What is it that you're painting, by the way? Is it something specific, or is it more abstract? This image from a nightmare that I can't let go. Oh, interesting. It's kind of messed up. Well, nightmares are a good source of definitely fucked up aspects into the mind that you can pull from. Yo, what up, Wade? How you been? Hope things have been good for you. Alright, let's actually make this down here, and we're going to drag that there. That's going to come down here so I don't muck it up. And that will now become one of these. Alright, now doing well, nice, settling into a routine post Labor Day. Yeah, exactly. I've pretty much in the exact same boat. I was waiting until my kid got back into school before I started streaming again, because there was no point while he was on vacation, because, you know, we're just hanging out doing our thing. So Plotting my future, I'm in the exact same boat right now. Basically, it's like a demon, but the head is on a skull coming from behind. Snatch a naked lady, but its arms are repeating to her arms. Interesting. And he's dragging her into the abyss. That is like almost a psych ward looking place that was run down. Damn. Looking for a way to further organize 90,000 images. Oh, geez. Reading out dupes and backup saves. Oh, yeah. Man, I don't even know how many duplicates I have of stuff. Not that that's a bad thing either. Here, let's get a little bit closer on this here. No, sketch this out in red. Dark pencil, alright. Let's do something like... Yeah, the countless saved files and backups on backups and backups. I'm gonna have to do a purge here pretty soon on mine as well. I've been doing a lot of video stuff lately, so that's eating up a lot of my hard drive. I've probably just tipped over the point of my halfway point on my hard drive, so I'm like, oh, okay, I gotta get rid of this. Well, it's good though, getting back into a schedule and the routine. I was kind of out of sorts there over the summer just because of, yeah, just, well, basically just enjoying summer while I could, you know? Because it's like, alright, fall's going to be coming along here, and I could only do my thing for maybe about another 2, maybe 3 months, and then I got to get onto a regular gig again, so that either means I got to get my act into gear doing what I want to do in 2 months, which is totally doable. I just have to hit the nose of the grindstone, and that's kind of why I'm doing this right now with the dual stream and with getting more of the coloring book stuff ready as well. Because at least with the coloring book stuff, I can get more onto my Patreon site, and that's kind of how people will be able to get the coloring book stuff beforehand, before it's in the actual book form. Because if you're signed up onto the $5 tier, you will be able to download what I'm doing and then color it. And then I have a Instagram page set up for the coloring as well. But I'll be posting all that stuff over the next week here. Picked up a 4 terabyte, but I don't want to start off wrong by duping garbage into it. Exactly, start clean. That's the way to go. Not ready for this winter season that is coming. When are we ever ready for it, really? Always sneaks up on us. And I'm on, for the comic book, I'm on page 24 right now, so that's what I'm going to be working on all day tomorrow, is finishing up that final page, and then the first official 24 pages of the book will be done, other than like small edits, because once I have it all done, then I got to go back and review it all as one big thing. And then do any kind of like adjustments and tweaks from there. And I'm still debating. I think I'm leaning more toward this though, is doing the first comic book a full 48 pages. And then that way it's a nice chunk. I'm also debating on doing 4 48 page books instead of like doing the 22 pages. I'm kind of aiming for more of like a either quarterly or triannual aspect for putting the books out. And then that way anybody who wants to buy them, once I do like the Kickstarter or the Indiegogo, those will be the first appearances of the characters, and once all 4 books get wrapped up, then I will do a manga-sized edition. That'll be the first time that it's all collected into one volume, and that will include halftones. The 48-page comic books is just going to be black and white. But I'm also looking for as much feedback as possible from everybody that's within my reach, is, you know, what they'd like to see and all that kind of stuff. Trying to get as much feedback before I pull any kind of trigger on anything. Oh, that should come over more like that instead of like that. Yeah, I apologize for the lack of music in the background. That's just because now that I'm streaming onto YouTube as well, I don't want to get any kind of like weird copyright strikes, so just try to avoid that as possible. I'm going AFK for a bit. Need to get to... Oh yeah, do what you gotta do there. Anybody gonna be watching the fights tomorrow? should be a good one. So with the coloring book here, I'm going to be doing more symmetry-based stuff. Like that's kind of like the whole deal for the whole book. Symmetry, Mandela style, sci-fi, fantasy stuff. Just trying to make it somewhat interesting and weird. Weird fantasy, elven, pan-like creatures. Now I gotta see if I can get my bit rate up a little bit. Maybe I can get a bit clearer image. That's another thing that I'm trying to work on with this stuff. So yeah, tomorrow when I'm going to be streaming, I'm going to be talking about a couple of things that I've been thinking about lately. One of those is the whole craziness that is quote-unquote Comicsgate right now. One of the other things will be something that's kind of... Now, I thought I was pretty on the radar with this stuff, but all the crazy Atlantis theories. Because I just learned about the Eye of the Sahara, and that caught me by surprise. Okay, that'll be good for that sketch. the fun things with this coloring book project is the whole point is not to think about what I'm making. It's just to put the lines down on the paper, just see what happens as it happens. Like, there's a certain amount of structure to it just because it's symmetry based, but at the same time I'm trying to not have a ton of preconceived stuff clogging up my mental bandwidth, I guess would be a way to put it. And just keep chipping away at it. And soon I will be at the goal of 100 of these. And a lot of this is just like straight up gibberish and quote unquote nonsense, and that's because, like I said, I'm not trying to think about what it is. I'm just trying to let it be what it wants to be as it flows out. And of course there's like some kind of like defaults that I'm going to, but really just trying to let it flow out without trying to think about it too much. I gotta get my big head out of the way there. There, that's a lot better. Now half of the fun too is it's going to be coming back to these sketches to see if they actually resemble anything when I go to flesh them out a little bit more. Because half of it's going to be like, what was I trying to think of this? And it's like, oh, you aren't trying to think of anything. Oh, right. Yeah, I'll leave that there. I'll figure out what that's going to become later. And if anybody's any questions or anything, feel free to ask. I'll try to help out as much as I can. Just keep scribbling and something will come of it. Maybe like some sweet kind of like samurai bug armor helmet kind of thing. Alright, that guy could be kind of cool. Somewhere around there, give or take. Alright. Just go back to the top. Let's do something not symmetrical in the foreground. Switch it up a little bit, do something that's non-symmetrical, and then do the symmetrical stuff in the background. Actually, I'm gonna move this out of the way. Yeah, that'll give me a better view if my big head keeps getting in the way. Alright, let me go back to the symmetry. Actually, let's take that back a little bit, up forward a little bit. Alright, I'm going to do another layer, and then that way I can erase out what I don't need. Well, maybe I can do some kind of cool, like, something kind of going off into the background like that. Some kind of weird totem kind of thing, maybe. Some kind of space totem or some shit. Maybe something resembling, I don't know, Necronomicon. And then these can kind of something with a little bit more structure to it than anything else. maybe some kind of weird stuff like that. Oh, it's looking mighty strange and weird. That'll turn into something. As to what it will be, I have no idea. But that's kind of half the fun. Cool. That'll be neat. Well, I hope some people are getting some kind of information out of this with my workflow. Might as well save that now before anything bad happens. So if this works out, that'll put me... Is that 16? Yeah, it's 16, 4x4. Nice. It'll be 16 pieces ahead. Now, I might have to bump up my bit rate though. Oh, that's not what I wanted. time are we at here? Well, I gotta keep an eye on my OBS, usually around midnight to 1:30 in the morning. Like clockwork, I get throttled. Nope, don't like that. No point in working on stuff that's not working right off the bat. Well, this guy just got ugly. All right. Maybe it could be some kind of like weird archaic bioalchemy kind of thing. Kind of Frankenstein-esque, but with like hints of alchemaic magic, maybe. And this is kind of like maybe the harness that he's strapped into. Again, that's what the fun thing, like doing the comic book and stuff like that. Like I kind of get, how can I put it? Like I'm super amped to do it, but there's also this other part of me that just wants to make other stuff, and the coloring book project is kind of that outlet that'll allow me to do that. and then I can, let these random things just kind of float out of my head, so they're not bothering me when I'm focusing on the comic book, where I have to worry about page layout and timing and pacing and all that kind of stuff. And I can kind of use this as just the warm-ups to get my hand and my mind ready for what I'm doing. Let's see here. Filter, view, print size. Oh, print size is actually smaller. Yeah, let's make that about there. It's kind of got like a bit of an Annihilus feel to him. I'll pull those eyes unnaturally far apart. Give that sense of creepiness. So something's not quite right. Brain. I have this kind of like maybe some kind of rib-like structures. And it's also fun with this kind of stuff too, with the symmetry, just to explore the design aspects. Just kind of let stuff free float. I'm still trying to find like a nice sweet spot for my camera here. I almost have a good spot for my overhead cam. Almost have it where my head doesn't get in the way, but it's still there. No. Nope, don't like that. Get rid of that. Oh, that's a little too smooth. I need it a little more. Oh, that's a little too close for the tangents. I know, maybe just keep it more rib-like. Yeah, just keep it more rib-like. I'm gonna figure out what's going on in this background here. And the same thing, just kind of keep scribbling until something forms. And then just pull those lines from the foreground into the background and see if it's going in the direction that I want. CPU's at 18. Alright, I might be able to bump up my stuff for the stream tomorrow. I'll find out. Alright, Rain, take it easy. Have a good rest of your night. And I will catch you again soon. Now that I'm back to a regular streaming schedule. Hey, Gonza, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. And welcome to the stream. This is your first time here. I'm Ryan Cardinal, the Ryan Cardinal, and I am currently working on a comic book coloring project, and that's what all these sketches are for. Yeah, this is kind of what we got going on. First time I see you, and I like this. Oh, right on, right on. Well, I'm glad that you enjoy what you're seeing. Yeah, just working on the sketches for a lot of stuff, kind of doing some prep work. Usually the way that I do it is I give myself 90 minutes, and I'll do one of these pieces from beginning to end, but kind of fell behind a little bit, so I thought I'd take some time just to do some prep work and just hammer out some sketches that are readable, but still loose enough for me to kind of like do some interpretation on what I want as I'm doing it. I can give you kind of a preview of some of the other stuff I've been working on. Let's open these up here. And then, yeah, that's kind of how some of it's going to be. And it's kind of a sci-fi slash fantasy genre for the whole thing, so. Oh, awesome. Well, glad that you enjoy it. Yeah, I'm also doing this because I am trying to get more content that's readily available for my Patreon. Just mainly because, like, the main project that I'm working on is a comic book, and that's pretty laborious for me. So I figured to give any of my Patreon or patrons any kind of continual content, I think the coloring book would probably be the best way for me to go about it. And then that way, from the $5 and $10 tier, there will be available downloads of each one that gets completed. And then that way you can print it out or just do the digital copy and then do the coloring yourself. And this will give you early access to the line art before it becomes available as the coloring book. And the coloring book will probably be broken up into several different volumes. I'm thinking volumes of 30, and having them printed on like some kind of nice watercolor stock, or maybe like a nice thicker cardstock. That way you can do whatever you want, whether it be like gouache, watercolor, pencil crayons, pastel. Just trying to keep it more open. And then when people get their stuff done, they can go to the Instagram page that I've set up, and then just tag me, and then I'll put them in the Instagram page. At least that's the plan on getting stuff to my patrons on a more steady basis than the comic book pages. But they'll also have access to the comic book pages as they get done. But like I said, the comic book is way more labor intensive, so this will definitely be the more optimal way to keep getting content. And it's a bit more interactive too, with you know, if you want to print them out and then color them and stuff like that ahead of the time before the actual book comes out. But glad that you're here. Glad that you're enjoying what you're seeing. Do you stream as well? Just watch the streamers while I draw something. Oh, cool. What are you drawing? Let's see. A friend of mine asked me to draw him like a knight, but I don't have that level. I do my best. Oh, are you working digitally or traditionally? know what? I'm not digging that at all. Kind of not liking all that. Maybe this could be some kind of demon monster thingy. Let's see. Well, it's very cool of you to take on the task of drawing your friend as a knight. Maybe I can get rid of this side. Digital, but I'm better at paper. I just don't get how to draw in digitally. Are you using a tablet, or are you drawing on screen? Because I know just from years of drawing with a tablet, it's a little tricky to get used to, just because, you know, you're not looking where you're drawing, and that takes a little while to get used to. And also depending on if you know the software you're using too, because that can be frustrating as well when you're trying to get it to do something but you don't know the language of the program. You know, you're like, I just want to do this thing, but then it's called something specific, and you're like, oh, I didn't know that. Because I remember when I was learning Photoshop, there's a lot of frustrating moments like that. Tablet, classic Wacom. And to use Clip. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Clip Studio Paint is hands down the best drawing program I have ever used. And I've been doing digital art for about, 15, 16 years now. Photoshop, in my opinion, is more for painting, clips and better for line arts. You know what? I've been kind of leaning more over to Clip Studio for absolutely everything. I do agree that Photoshop handles color a lot better, but at the exact same time, you know, when it comes to just moving pixels around and stuff like that, that's, you know, in essence all that you're really doing with it. So the only time that I've touched Photoshop now is if I'm working for a company and that's their go-to program. And even then, if I'm allowed to work with them, and it's like, hey, can I use Clip Studio Paint? They're like, we don't care as long as it gets the job done. I'm like, booyah. But Sarah Jean, who goes by the one with Bear on here, she uses Clip Studio Paint for all her color work, and her color work is freaking gorgeous. So I think it all just works out to like whatever you're most comfortable with and what gets the job done for you the best. But I will agree that for line art, Photoshop is definitely lacking in comparison to Clip Studio Paint. Like I got a bunch of co-workers that I was working with who absolutely love Sketchbook Pro, and I was just like, man, I can't stand that program. And for me, it's just the end result of it. I don't like the way it looks in the end. It never looks clean or sharp. It always kind of has this weird fuzziness to it. Just one of those weird little things with the program that drives me nuts. And I also found out that for some reason, if you save as a PSD, sometimes the file format gets corrupted. But that could also be something that's fixed with patches and updates. But now that it's free, who knows what they're going to do with it. I know that'll work. Move on to the next one. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Great. Thinking about buying one tablet, but with a screen, one cheap like a Huion. The interests are really expensive. From what I'm hearing, the Huions are actually really, really good. Like, surprisingly good for their price point. There's lots of really, really good reviews on YouTube. So if you have any questions, I know for a fact that a lot of people have done good, long, proper reviews on the Huion, as well as the Unova. So those are some good options to check out. Am I on the right thing here? Okay, there I am. Hey, Gonzo, thank you for the follow there. Yeah, I wish I could remember off the top of my head. I know there's a couple of YouTube regulars that will review new pen displays, LCD pen displays as they come out. Oh, that can be better than that. Because I want that. Well, it looks really nice. To do things with symmetry, I'll have to try someday. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And it also speeds things up too. And like this is just the symmetry set to 2. If you set up the radial symmetry, then it gives you like an extra added feature as well. And you can get a lot of stuff done really, really quick with it too, which is what I like about it. Yeah, maybe we can make this some kind of weird bird creature. Now, since it's fantasy-based, I can kind of do whatever the hell I want, so... Give him a big, thick, stocky beak. Maybe some kind of, like... ornate armor of some kind. Maybe like some kind of like a weird science fiction Japanese tengu. And then this will... Yo, That Onion, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Maybe some kind of like Japanese style plate armor coming off of it like that. Yo, That Onion, how you doing? Doing good, doing good. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's pull that under and turn this into an eraser and just erase out some of this stuff here. I'm doing well. Hit a little art burnout yesterday and finished with the commission. Oh, okay, cool, cool, cool. Well, at least you got the commission done. Nothing's worse than being burnt out trying to get stuff done. I pretty much described my last 10 years of tattooing, just burnt out trying to get stuff done. What was the commission that you were doing? Recently starting digital. All right, I can figure something out from that. All right. Oh, hi, Dexter. Hi, kitty. How you doing? Hmm? Got a little kitty break. You good? Yeah? Meow, 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 meow. Do you want up or do you want out? Alright. He just came in to say hi. Well, now that you ask, it was a tattoo design. A friend wanted a certain skull to be used, so I painted the hood and some other things in the picture and cut it out. What really bummed me out is what the client wanted wasn't technically accurate. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's... Yep. It's, yeah. I know that all too well. Woof. Yeah, as a tattoo artist for pretty much 2 decades, and it's what you experience all the time, like non-stop. The whole technically accurate, you know, the client doesn't care, they want what they want. You know, there's only so much of you being like, it's not right, and the client's just like, I don't care, I want it. And then you tattoo them, and then somebody says like, oh, that's technically not right, and then they get mad at you. So I know the pain all too well. It's pretty much one of the things that made me retire from it. It's like, enough of this garbage. Dexter, seriously, in or out, man. I had a good friend of mine years and years ago. He started getting into tattooing, and he lasted, I think it was maybe like 6 months. Alright, get out of here, Dexter. Come on. And at the end of the 6 months, he was ready just to murder people. He's like, how do you do it? How do you not like want to kill everybody every single time that they want to change something? Is like, it's part of the job. He's like, yeah, I don't have the patience for that. Have to go to work. Hope to see more. I'll be on tomorrow. Take it easy there, Gonza, and thank you for the follow. You are awesome. Yeah, and the other thing too with the tattoo designs is even though you drew it, painted it, did all this stuff, once it gets taken into the tattoo artist, they're probably gonna, trying to adjust it so it works best for them too. So, like, I've had lots of friends of mine be like, "Oh, cool! Now you can design my tattoos for me. Now that you're not tattooing all the time," and I was just like, "F no, I'm not doing that." And they're like, well, why not? It's like, dude, that is literally the thing that made me want to quit tattooing in the first place. Why would I hop into that ring? Alright, where is circle? Nope. We are going to copy that. And we're going to drag you down here. Pull this. I'm a hobbyist, so I don't do a lot of this commission stuff. Oh, okay, okay. Well, it's always good to get out of the comfort zone, too. Hey, Lisa, thank you for the follow. It was an experience? Yeah, definitely. It always is. Let's erase some of this stuff out of the way. Bring that back. All right, cool. Then I can see what I need to get rid of. All right, that's a little bit better. Any of this stuff, some of that. All right. Bring this way into the foreground. Do you do a lot of concept design work? Kind of the stuff I've been doing lately has been more, let's see, I was doing storyboard revisions, and I just got off of a gig doing some comic book work for a company. But originally, back in the day, that was one of the goals, was to get into doing concept art. But then I have a buddy who's in the industry, and he was just kind of like, yeah, unless you're like a genius with it, it's like those jobs are few and far between. I was like, Arr. So I scrapped that idea. But all that stuff that I learned doing it still really played into, you know, developing stuff, especially with the comic book stuff, which is more what I want to be doing full time anyway, and that's what I'm gearing toward. All the stuff I'm doing here is for a personal side project that's going to be attached to my Patreon, and that is a fantasy sci-fi coloring book. Yeah, just because with the current comic book project that I'm doing, my personal project on that, which is the main thing that I'm focusing on right now, because it's so labor intensive, I need to have something that's a little bit more accessible and readily available to anybody who signs on to be a patron. And this coloring book project that I kind of just started doing is the way that I can give people something on a regular basis that, first off, isn't requiring a lot of my time, so I can focus more on the comic book. And it's something that's more interactive too. Whoever signs up for the Patreon on the $5 and $10 tiers will be able to download the Photoshop files as well as a high-res JPEG file. And then they can color those, and once those are colored, they can post them online, and then they can do the hashtag that is associated with the Instagram that I'm setting up for it, and then I can post their artwork and link it back to them and their Instagram and whatever page that they're associating with, whether it's Twitter or whatnot. And then that way it's a nice little cross promotion between me and whoever does the coloring. And like I said, it's a bit more interactive than, you know, just that little something fun, you know, because like sometimes it's just that simple stuff, like come home, you want to chill out, you want to do something, but you just don't want to watch Netflix. You know, you just grab one of these and just color it, you know. The line work will be done, and you can color it however you want, obviously, so. And then once I have all of my drawings done, I will be compiling the coloring book into, I think, 3 or 4 different volumes. And I'll be doing a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo to get those going. And I want to print those on like nice high quality paper. Just like a, you know, a nice multi-purpose paper. So if you want to color it with watercolor, pastels, pencil crayons, however you want, you'll be able to. And the line art will be toned out to more of a gray. So that way, if you want to do your own line work over top of it, the lines will be light enough where you can actually do your own line work over top of it and color it over that way as well. And if not, the line work will be gray enough so whatever color that you use over top of it when you color it, the gray will just kind of add a bit of edge to it. So it'll leave more options for you to color it as well. Like I said, something a little bit more fun, a little bit more interactive. What's the kind of artwork that you like doing there, Onion? Well thought plan is half of a good job done, exactly. Well, I see a lot of Patreon stuff too where it's just like, hey, I did this thing, here it is. So I want to have something that's just that little bit more interactive with, you know, whoever signs up for it. I thought a coloring book is a good way of going about it. I will dock my virtual ship and talk. Okay. It's a little too hard. Let's keep everything kind of flowy with this one. It's still looking a little too sharp. Keep everything kind of flowy and round. All right. Let's see, now what can I put in the middle here? Oh, a sneeze coming on. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I gotta take that off. Oh, it's a G pen. That's, I was like, why is it so sketchy? Not the right kind of sketchy. I need to be pencil sketchy. Let's see. I do mostly studies, practices of proportion, and poses still. Awesome. Because I'm fairly new to actually practice art stuff. That's the best way to go about it. Get those fundamentals down. Yeah, those fundamentals are key. And the funny thing is, the more you practice them, the better you get at them, the more second nature that they become, the more you realize you need to keep doing it. So it's a weird oxymoron. Each piece I aim to complete, but I am usually finished with the piece before it's actually complete, but I don't feel bad about it. Ah, that's how it goes. You just gotta bring everything to a level that you are happy with. Also, I don't aim for great accuracy in my art. I know I can do it. I can share some of my pieces. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Let's take a look here. Hey, Jolene. Thank you for the subscription there. Hey, those are pretty cool. Yeah, that's super cool. Nice. Hey, just been lurking a bit and watched your Instagram. Oh, cool, thank you. Thank you very much, Jolene. Well, welcome to the stream. Yeah, Onion, those are dope. The art is amazing. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm just slowly chipping away at a bunch of sketches right now for the coloring book project that I'm putting together. As you saw from the Instagram, those are all the time lapses that I have going on over there. But yeah, thank you for coming onto the stream and hanging out. Are you an artist as well, Julian? You know what? I might leave these blue just to help separate it a little bit more, but I might make them a dark blue. Yeah, that works better. And thank you for the follow. I need... Not a fan of... I gotta fix this, and I need something here. Just like that, I'm currently practicing on pose proportions anatomy. Yeah, that never goes away. I've been drawing for, geez, professionally since I've been 17. And it's still the thing I go back to. Like, oh, am I good at this, Nat? Nope, not good enough. Damn it. But I blame that on years and years of tattooing. At least that's what I'm gonna blame it on. Currently in progress of scanning my work and putting it on Instagram. Oh, right on. Oh, this could be a shield in the background. I'll post the link when it's finished. Yeah, totally. Alright, Onion, take it easy. My dad's trying to spend some time with me. Oh, yeah, do it up. Yep, spend that family time, man. Yeah, soak it up while you can. Well, this is cool. I should be able to get all of this done tonight. And then tomorrow I will be dual streaming again. I will Tomorrow I will be working on the comic book pages that I'm doing. I'm on page 24 of my comic book, which is pretty much... actually, I can bring this out further. Page 24 will pretty much be the... if it was going to be a 24-page comic, that would be the end of it, but I'm thinking of pushing it to being a 48-page comic. But I want to get that page done tomorrow. And then at least that way, the real first comic book will be done. Not a big family man, so I try at least making time when they want it. Yeah, it's important because it's one of those weird things that when it's not there anymore, it's that thing you wish you still had. All right, Onion. Thanks for popping by, hanging out, and thank you for the follow. And hopefully you swing by again. Yeah, exactly, Jolene. Yeah, it can happen in a flash. Yeah, that's one of those weird things that I constantly threaten my kid with. It's like, I could die any second. You could die any second. We should hang out more. And he's like, geez, Dad, mellow out. I'm like, but it's true, though. Alright, that'll work. Well, I got this weird thing, like, like, I literally think every day could be the day that I drop dead, so I want to try and get as much done as I can. And then another day's like, today could be the last day on the planet. I'm like, whatever, I'm sleeping. But when I'm awake and I'm motivated, it's just like, all right, let me do as much as I can. And part of my current outlook right now is like, I could do as much as I can, but am I doing it for myself or am I doing it for someone else? And that's one of the reasons why I quit tattooing after 20 years is I was officially done doing stuff for everyone else. I was like, I need to do stuff for myself because I could drop dead at any second. Or have that moment where it's just like, I wish I would have done, X, Y, and Z rather than, A, B, and C. And that was a moment where I was like, all right, cool, I gotta quit tattooing. Oh, that's gonna look nice. When I was little, I was convinced I would die at 12 years old. I had a recurring dream where I died at age 9 to 13. I was so confused. Oh man, I was dead set for years. Like I used to be like a hardcore doom porn addict. Where I was like, no, world's gonna end. Year 2000, May 5th. So I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. And then it rolled around and nothing happened. I was like, god damn it, now I gotta get a job. I got an adult. This sucks. But I was tattooing, so it's just like, it's not like Real adulting. But I'm aware of the impending doom aspect all too well. Not so much where like it impedes or interrupts my life, but it's just one of those things I wake up like, oh, today could be the day. Let's get stuff done. After that, I got a serious mental problems. Not only because of that, and I'm definitely gonna be dead at 30. Now I'm turned 30, and again, very confused. Well, one way or another, you're still here, hanging out, doing stuff, and that definitely counts for something. Well, it's funny that you mentioned that kind of stuff too, because I've had this weird thing in my head where it's just like my benchmark for like when I'm gonna kick the can is always been 52. And now that that's a more close reality, I'm like, maybe I don't want that. Maybe I want to pull this taffy out a little bit further. You know, having the kid definitely makes me want to be around, so. For me, it paralyzes me, and then I have time actually doing things. You know, that's the one thing that I never let it do. I kind of went the other way, where it's just like, oh, if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Yeah, I never let the anxiety aspect of it prevent me from doing stuff. I almost use it as like it almost gave me more of a freedom to do stuff because like, well, if it ends up doing that, whatever, you know. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, that's rough. Have you thought about adopting, maybe? Yeah, that's truly saddening. I know that I would have more of a feeling I wanted to be here. Random question. Cola or Fanta? Fanta if it's orange and grape. Because you can't beat Fanta orange and Fanta grape. But if it's a cola, I will usually pick a Pepsi over a Coca-Cola product. Yeah, I find the story of Fanta, like Fanta's origins, pretty fascinating. The fact that it's essentially Nazi Germany's Coca-Cola. Hey, Rabe, thank you for the follow. Back to lurking. I have a doggy. I have a lot of affection for him. I couldn't live without him. Alright, that's good enough. Move on to the next one. What's your doggy's name? That's the benefit of it. They love you no matter what. Exactly. Fristy? I've never heard that name before. That's cool. Is it anything specific? Fristy. It's the name of strawberry milk drink. I thought it was funny. Off, my little Fristy. Well, the rules to get a passport with family tree, you have to choose a name. Get a passport with family tree, you have to choose a name with the letter that they choose for that year. Oh, really? To protect and swerve. Speaking of, I gotta redo my passport. I keep forgetting to do it. It's like every other week. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to do that. I gotta leave my options open here if I want to bug out of the country. I just had a friend of mine get a teaching gig in Shanghai. So I might want to go visit him while he's out there for the next 6 months. Because I think that'll be pretty fun. And I know him well enough by the time that I get there, he'll have found every awesome spot to do whatever it is we would do. So each year it's the next letter of the alphabet. It's a passport that shows he is a pure breed. Sorry for him. Oh, don't worry about it. Shows his parents and grandparents. Interesting. Oh, cool. Take that opportunity to go to your friends and go discover a new country. Yeah, I haven't been overseas yet. And I think it would make for a fun adventure. Yeah, so far I've been pretty much landlocked to Canada, been through the States, um, been down to Mexico, but not like in Mexico, just across the border. I haven't been in America before either. The only other continent I do is Africa. When I went to Egypt, oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's weird. There's not too many places on the map that I really want to go to. They're very, very limited. Um, And it just breaks down to like a matter of monetary gain and means. It's like I don't have the money to do the things that I want to do, so let's keep it in the realm of some kind of reality here. But now I'm already 9 years immature because of accident. Oh no! Is there some kind of like possible programs that you can get onto? Like disability travel programs? Because I know those exist. That too, the costs are enormous. There are some disability travel programs, but it is way too expensive for me. There's always a way to get into it. Like one of the things that you could do is get together a grant proposal so you could travel because you're writing a book on how it is to be disabled and traveling to different countries. And who knows, if you put a proposal together, you might get 50 grand just to travel around and do that very thing. Then you can write the cost of any kind of aid or caretaker that needs to be with you for, to deal with like customs and stuff like that. Because I know here in Canada, they kind of literally will just throw money at any idea. And if there's a guy that got $50,000 to write a book about strippers, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to get money and funding for writing a book about traveling. How do I go about that? Basically, you say you want to write a book. It's going to take you X amount of time to write the book. The book involves you traveling and how... Oh yeah, the guy got $50,000 to write a book over a 3-year period, dealing with strippers and stripper stories. Essentially, he found a way to get the Canadian government to pay for him to go hang out in strip clubs, which is pretty funny. But, you know, he ended up writing a book on it. And who do you have to talk to get that started? Well, I don't know where you are at. But I would look up your country's the state, wherever country that you're living in. They usually have some kind of writers grants or artist grants. Um, Belgium? Yeah, then I would look up the Belgian government sites for grants, artistic grants, travel grants, writing grants. Because I guarantee that there's a lot of untapped money that's just ready to be used up. And you would be doing something that, is unique. You can kind of pinpoint the areas that you want to go to, and you just got to work it all in. Essentially, it's like making a business plan, but it's yeah, you just kind of do a quick guideline of what you want to do. Also, another thing that you could do if it's just a writer's grant, look up photographer grants as well, because if you take pictures on the trip, thank you so much for the tip. I never would have thought. Yeah, there's always a way. Like even with this coloring book project that I'm working on right now, like I'm looking to at possible grants and funding for this as well. So yeah, there. And the funny thing is, with the majority of the governments and stuff like that, these funds, these art grants, at least the way it works in Canada, is they have to be spent by the end of the year or their term date, because if that organization does not give that grant out, they do not get money the next year. So they have to use it up. It's so interesting. Yeah, that's like I said, like every government has tons of accessible funds. And the other thing too is like you're in a wheelchair, that automatically opens you up to just straight up disability grants. So depending on who you talk to about it, you can literally get probably like a 1 2 3 punch with like a writer grant, disability grant, photography grant. Um, yeah, take a look into it. So because what's the worst that's going to happen? You look into it, you spend a little bit of time. If it doesn't pan out, it didn't pan out right now. Because the thing is, you can keep reapplying over and over and over again. Well, I'm glad I could help you out somehow. Emotes don't want to work. Actually, let's hit with something a bit more angular. Well, I hope something pans out for you, because that would be awesome. Yeah, totally. Yeah, let me know how the application process in Belgium is. Because I know in Canada here, it's weird. Depending on who your grant officer is, they'll either want a novel or they'll just want like a half a paragraph. So just keep the pen moving. We'll see what transpires. Not everything can be gold. Yeah, not digging that at all. Okay, maybe we can do that kind of cool cross of like techno organic. All right. Alright, I can work something from that. What time are we at here? 3. Oh, we're only at 1? Oh my god. 140 something? Oh. Oh. Alright, I can make something out of that. Alright, 2 more to go. Actually, I don't want that. Love this face. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Can you zoom in on piece so we can better lines you make? Oh yeah, sure. Well, we're multiplied. Too dark. Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. Hey. Oh, I missed that. Was that Irene? Arian? Thank you for the follow. Alright, that should work for that. I can pull something from that. And the last one of the night. It's 2:05 in the morning here. Like that nose. Thank you. It's on South Compton. I'll die when that motherfucker dead. I'm gonna die. Nigga bury me. Let me be easy motherfucking E. Alright, I think that's going to wrap it up for me for tonight. So I got all 16 of those done. Got a couple cat creatures in there, a couple spider creatures, some weird dragon monster, some armor stuff. Alright, cool. Well, that is going to wrap it up for me for tonight. I'm just going to quickly see if there's anybody on here that I can host quickly. Oh, thank you, Jolene. Oh, when D-Tran's on, I'm going to give him a host. NR5 the most? Which one would that be? Alright, well, thank you everybody for hanging out. See you next time. I'm going to be streaming again pretty much all day tomorrow. I got my comic book project that I'm going to be doing, so I got that page I got to finish up, and then once I'm done that, then I can start on the next 24 pages, which are going to be super fun. But yeah, thank you for everybody for hanging out, and I will catch you all in the near and dear future. And yeah, I'm just going to give D-Train a host here, because he do awesome stuff as always. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Over here. There we go. Oh, I just missed him.